Lust, a fire that consumes itself. It doesn't creep like sloth. It doesn't crawl like gluttony. Lust comes differently. It arrives like a golden invitation, a thrill in the blood, a shimmer on the horizon, a promise whispered where reason falters. At first it feels like life itself, a pulse, a flame, a possibility. The ancient teachers spoke of it, not as hunger, but as a fever, not as desire itself, but desire unmoored from meaning, spilling over everything, setting fire to what was once sacred. This is lust, but not the crude hunger you think you know. It is something far more refined, far more devastating, a craving not just for bodies, but for oblivion. Lust. Really? You might laugh and say, I'm not some desperate creature. You pride yourself on control. You pride yourself on clarity. But let me ask you, when was the last time you reached for something? Not because you wanted it, but because you couldn't bear being without. Lust isn't about wanting too much. It's about wanting anything to avoid feeling nothing. It's the terror of standing alone. So you reach, you take, you burn. Think about it. We dress it up now. Call it chemistry, call it freedom, call it adventure. But beneath the language, the pattern remains the same. We chase, we consume, we abandon, we repeat. And with every cycle, the thrill diminishes. The hunger sharpens, the self thins. Lust today wears infinite faces. It hides behind the polished photos, the curated fantasies, the endless swipes, offering bodies without souls, connection without covenant. It's not just sexual, it's the lust for attention, the lust for adoration, the lust for obliteration of the self through the merging with anything, anyone, anywhere, as long as you don't have to stand naked before your own emptiness. We call it exploration, we call it liberation, but what if it's simply exile from ourselves? In ancient times, monks and mystics warned of lust because they understood something modern culture forgot. Lust isn't the celebration of passion, it's the refusal to discipline it. It's letting the fire burn past its purpose until it scorches the very temple it was meant to warm. They knew pleasure without presence becomes poison. Desire without devotion becomes destruction. One of them wrote, "The man who devours the rose for its beauty destroys its scent with his grasp." What are we running from? Maybe from the terror of intimacy, not the cheap version, the real thing. The kind that asks not just for our bodies, but for our patience, our tenderness, our sacrifice, our trust. And that feels unbearable in a world addicted to instant rewards. It's the voice that says, just one more touch, one more thrill, one more conquest. But the fire never shrinks, it only spreads. Each new possession becomes another phantom, another ghost you chased, another dream that withers in your hands. This is lust's true cruelty. It promises reunion, but leaves you more alone than before. It promises ecstasy, but sells you exile. It's ironic. We worship passion, we glorify hunger, we chase love songs, love stories, love scenes, but flee love itself. Real love is slow, real love is heavy, real love costs more than bodies can pay. Lust demands no such thing. It demands only your abandonment. Here's the brutal truth. Lust isn't the fire that keeps you warm. It's the fire that consumes everything, until not even your own reflection survives. You can have endless lovers, endless pleasure, endless conquest, and feel less seen than you did when you were starving. Because lust can give you everything, except yourself. So how do you break the spell? How do you silence the voice that says, another, another, another? Until there's nothing left of you, the answer isn't repression, it's reclamation, not of others, of yourself. You must become a garden no one plunders. You must become a temple no fire defiles. You must become the kind of soul that no longer begs for belonging, because it already carries its own flame. Imagine this. Instead of chasing, you build. Instead of grasping, you guard. Instead of collapsing into others, you stand whole. and invite others to meet you there, or not at all. Terrifying? Good. Because that fear is the dying breath of lust's dominion over you. Throughout history, those who mastered desire did not kill it. They crowned it. They turned the wildness inward, forged it into vision, harnessed it to become builders of cities, poets of the soul, lovers who could last beyond the first flash of heat, because they understood. Lust unmastered devours, but lust transmuted creates. This is the final irony. To defeat lust, you do not kill your longing, you consecrate it, you crown it, you command it to serve something greater than your vanishing flesh. You do not shrink from your hunger, you sharpen it, you teach it to aim at the eternal, not the disposable. Lust wants you frantic, lust wants you hollow. Lust wants you endlessly searching outside yourself. But you don't have to accept that. You can choose to wake up, to gather your scattered pieces, to burn with a fire that illuminates, not destroys. Because the opposite of lust is not coldness, it's sovereignty, it's reverence, it's sacred fire, carried inside you, undefeated.